Welcome to Trail Manners, the podcast so dedicated to mountain trails and running that they broadcast out of a 78 Volkswagen bus in the mountains. Who does that? Eric and Joel are your hosts and will bring you the trail life as you may have not heard it before. You hear about everything from gear reviews, nutrition to keep you upright and moving forward, and they'll even bring guests into the bus for conversations that you won't hear anywhere else. It's time for some running adventures on a higher elevation. The old 78 Volkswagen bus is fired up and headed to the mountains. Here are your hosts for Trail Manners, proudly representing the 801 with their passion and love for the trails, Eric Manning and Joel Hatch.
Welcome to the Trail Manners Podcast, episode number 85. Today, we will be talking with the Power-Stache, Brian Tolbert. So if this is your first time listening, then thanks for coming. The Trail Manners Podcast is produced every week for enjoyment, and show notes are found at trailmanners.com. Come back often, and please feel free to add the podcast to your favorite RSS feed or iTunes. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Trail Manners. All links are in the show notes. Now let's get after it. All right, welcome back to another edition of the Trail Manners Podcast. We are at the home away from home.
Second studio.
Park City Run Company in Park City. Makes sense.
It does.
Right?
Yeah.
So, we came up here. Candace was gracious enough to let us take over his shop today.
Yep.
Do a little perusing and carousing.
Some yummy chai.
Oh, yeah.
Coffee.
Some straight-up black coffee.
Yep.
And we're bringing back a guest.
Is this his second time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time.
Even though people were like, I think one's plenty.
Yeah.
We got more stories.
We do.
Mustache, you can't get enough of the mustache.
No.
I mean,
I really can't.
You
It tickles.
It is a tractor beam.
I mean,
Yeah.
let's be honest. That's the
Tractor
only reason
beam.
Turtle got his third one. Is because he had the mustache, right?
Well, now
Yeah.
he's getting so skinny now, his mustache has turned into a beard.
Yeah.
It just droops.
I heard last time he had the mustache, somebody mistaked him for Hayden Hawks.
Oh.
That's what I heard. That's why he's gotten so skinny. They're like
Well,
twins.
They both wear buffs.
Yep.
Same neck of the woods.
Right.
But I've never seen Hayden wear the Vato bandana.
Yeah,
True.
that's true.
So
And there's a difference in pace.
A little bit.
minor.
Yeah.
Minor.
I mean,
Although Turtle is getting faster.
He
I
is.
saw him leading the Ogden Trail Fest race. Not
Did you
saying.
see that?
I
That was
saw
hilarious,
him
wasn't
getting. Last I saw him, he was winning.
He
I don't
was.
know what happened.
He was.
He hit the trail.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Got to the end of the park and
The
died.
next day, he sends us a message. He goes, dude, my hamstrings are wrecked from doing that.
Yeah, he came by the next day on my house, and he was waddling up the stairs of the porch a little bit. Guys looked a little tight. So.
That's so funny. That's what happens, little sprints, right?
That's right.
Everybody had a good time.
That was a great time.
Yeah, we're back with the Power-Stache, Brian Tolbert. So there's some cool things going on in your world, right?
Yeah.
It's been a wild since last year. What, July we talked?
Yeah.
It's
Something like that.
gotten crazy.
And
I had a kid.
Yeah, I had a kid.
Yeah.
That was a little weird. I had a boy. So there's
you got
boy, they had family.
2 girls, 3 girls?
3 girls and a boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's 4.
I know.
Yeah.
I
So
sometimes miscount. I'm not going to
Yeah.
lie. He's still fresh enough. So it's
Yeah.
okay.
He's still fresh.
It's like,
Yeah.
we got to go back. We forgot the boy.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
forgot one of them. I don't know. I can usually keep count 3. I just don't know which one.
Last time I saw him, he was playing on the tractor. I don't know where he went.
It happens. It's Heber. We'll be okay.
Someone took care of him.
Yeah, he'll be raised right.
He'll be raised, right?
So what have you been doing on the run side?
Run side was last year. Finished out the Sky Race series, the U.S. Sky Race series. Was wild. Ended up 4th overall.
Right on.
Which was, yeah. I mean, I had high aspirations for that, but it was battling down to the end with those kids, and it's like this is the first time I've ever had to feel old against those guys.
Yeah.
Like these were all 21, 22,
Right.
23-year-old. And I'm
So you had a good 10 years on him.
yeah, 35 going into them, trying to explain to them, like, I got to get back because my wife's going to have a baby. They're like, oh, congratulations, your first one. I'm like, well, it's our 4th, but it's okay. And they're just, like, their minds just get blown. Just, like, what?
Man, we got to hurry back because there's the PlayStation tournament.
Yeah.
or-
They don't even know. All these kids, like, live in their
Their
trucks.
apartment.
They're like, yeah, we just travel around. I'm like, I got to get back. I got conference calls. My kids got soccer tournament. I got to get, they're like, it's just not even on their range.
No.
So that was fun. The Sky Race series was awesome. Kicked my butt sometimes. Learned a lot, but
So you going to do it
overall-
again this year?
I'll do the rut this year, but
Right.
I'm not going to chase the series the way it got scheduled out with adding in the 100-miler
Oh, that's right.
right after the rut and right before the finals makes it pretty tough.
So what do you think that's going to do to the overall series, though? Because me and Joel talked about this lots of episodes ago, because the 100 mile is so different than everything else. Like the runners you're going against, those 21-year-olds.
Yeah, that's not on their range.
Yeah,
like that's not really their jam. And I guess it's not out of the realm of sky racing to have a 100-miler.
Yeah,
they've done it They do it a couple times in Europe, and it happens. But it's the placement of it that was screwy. Like there's no way you can really contend for an overall, because you could race the Rut, which is the World Series, and it's part of the U.S. Series. But then 2 weeks later, you have a 100-miler, and it's I Am Tough, which that's not like a That's not a. I talked with Ty about it, and we decided it's probably not the one I want to debut 100 in.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's not want to be my first.
We've had
100.
friends that have done that.
Yeah,
it's brutal. And then 2 weeks after that is the finals that you have to race to contend for an overall because they weight the points.
Yeah,
wow.
And so it just. I don't know. It was a bit of a screwy thing. And so it's all right. There's a lot of good races around, so I'll pick and choose a little bit. I do enjoy chasing a series, but this year, picking and choosing a few more races and going back to some old favorites. And
what are those? What are some of the races and what you would call an old favorite?
Vaquero, for sure.
Yeah.
Of course.
Vaquero is...
Wait a minute, you didn't do that last year.
I had to go, I had to go to Aspen to...
Right.
I didn't like that race at all. It's miserable.
Was it?
Yeah. It was. I was wishing I was in Vaquero the whole time, because Vaquero is just such a cool race. Smut's awesome. I really love that Red Mountain race down in St. George. I did that again this spring.
Was it
that
February?
was cool.
Yeah, it's like first of March.
March.
Like very first weekend.
That
great
really is a good
kickoff.
race.
It's a nice time of year.
Yep.
It's to go down there. You're kind of tired to getting out there. That's super fun. So
it's good start finish.
Yeah, really good start. Oh, it's pretty brutal for me. The long finish on the pavement and dirt road is, you go from like awesome single track to
I mean, come on, that last mile kind of sucks.
Oh, it's brutal.
Yeah.
It crushes you. But it's just a good time of year. The kids and wife like to get down to the desert that time of
Get out
year.
of the
Everybody's
snow.
ready to kind of just feel some warmth.
Right.
So, there's a handful. And the Rut is another one. I didn't go to the Rut last year. I went to Texas to Franklin Mountain on trail or sky race, which was, what a race. That thing's awesome and well run. Those guys down there do a really, really good job. But that race, the Texas sky running race, was the most technical race of the series last year.
You wouldn't think that when you say Texas.
And he brought that up to us last year, and we were both like, "What?
Yeah.
Got a big enough mountain down there to do that?"
They squeezed every bit out of it, and it was right out of El Paso. But man, it was super technical and lots of climbing, but then it had bushes and everything wanted to like slash you, poke you,
bite you,
everything. And then we had like sustained like 50 or 60 mile an hour winds the whole day.
Oh.
I've never ran where like I had to like guess my foot placement. It would blow your foot
before it hit the ground.
It was amazing. It was the most bizarre thing in the world. So
that wind, we talked about wind on these new, because you got your Sunto watch on.
Yeah.
We thought, man, they need to come out with a
like a windometer thing?
Yeah, but like adjust your pace.
I like it. Let's go with that.
We're going with that.
But it adjusts your pace, right? So when you're like running an 8-minute mile, but it's really showing 12,
right?
It's like that looks bad, but it's like, no, that was wind.
That was
like
wind adjusted.
when you upload it like Strava and it tells you like the gap, adjust your pace by the up or down or the elevation. You're like, no, there was wind.
Yeah, there was
that's
wind.
why.
I think for like sprinters, they have wind aided time, right?
Yeah, asterisks. We're gonna go with an asterisk on that time.
I like it.
What if we go with that little like not a minus sign, but that little squiggly minus sign, because that kind of looks like wind? You could put that on there.
Is that like a Tildell? Is that what those are called?
Oh man, look at this guy.
Who's dropping knowledge.
I know, right?
Wow.
I did go to grad school.
No big deal. No big deal.
No big deal.
So yeah, it was Franklin Mountains was awesome. And then Flagstaff's cool. But it's by that point
burnt.
I was pretty burnt out. The baby was like coming any minute. Like I drove down there with Luke, like we just hustled down there and contend, and I had to give it a shot. I was in contention, like all the top four of us all could have won the overall. And so I was in second, but I mean we were just single points between us all and going into that. So I had to give it a shot, and I ran a good race, but there was a couple guys that ran better races, and Morgan Elliott, that kid raced his guts out to win the overall and won flag and won it with like authority. Like it was pretty impressive to watch. So Oh, it was fun to see, but it was made for a heck of a season. I was pretty beat by the end of it.
So this year you've done a couple, right? Couple events, runs.
Yeah.
And so now you've got Smut, and you're doing what distance on that one?
I'm going to do 35K Smut again because I got to go chase the old man Draney's record again.
There you
go. And then 2 weeks later, I'm going to Bighorn to the 50 miler.
50 miler? Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
So
That's a good combo.
yeah, so I'm going to go do that, and I'm excited. I haven't done the 50 miler. I haven't bumped to that distance yet.
This is your
this is
debut?
my
First one. Yeah, I mean, I did
Nice.
Tusher's 100K, but that nearly killed me.
That's
and
right. I remember that story.
I got walked off the mountain on that one, so we won't count that one. So yeah, I'm excited to go that distance and see what it is racing, and I'm a little scared of that course. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's really runnable, which
Yeah.
is
It
not
is.
really my jam. I want it technical and nasty, and slow those boys down.
And then you're doing El Vaquero.
Yep.
And so is Luke running again this year?
I think Luke has retired from that race,
Ah.
is what he's saying. I don't know.
He was my barometer for knowing where my pace was in
That's
that
a good
race.
point.
I think he's set enough of a level on that race. You can always just gain, your barometer of where you're at.
Yeah.
That's
based
true.
on Luke's paces on an average of what he do. Won it 8 times.
Well, see, I always would judge it by him coming back.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
I'd be
exactly.
running down, and wherever I'd see him, like if I got closer to the turnaround, and I'm like, dude, I'm cruising this
Maybe
year.
we can talk to Strava and we can create one of those programs for Strava, like the Ghost Luke.
Yeah.
Like where are you at for the
Oh.
Ghost Luke on this route?
we got
cool.
it. The Ghost Luke. Hashtag the heck out of that.
No big deal. I mean, somebody named Luke did get named to the Sunto Pro team. I saw. So.
Oh, man. All kinds of stuff being dropped
yeah.
today.
Oh, I like it.
I don't know
So
if
so
that's
you've
out.
won the race too, though.
did.
No, I was second.
Oh, you were?
Second to Josh
What?
Arthur.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was, but wasn't it kind of close though?
It was pretty close. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, he dropped me on the last part. All right,
Okay.
but yeah,
That
we ran
downhill?
it. Yeah, the climb into the downhill just.
Oh, up
and
balls.
then those guys dropped me hard on that downhill.
That downhill
After that.
is brutal.
fast.
So it's brutal. Like your quads just want to tear off the
Yeah.
bones.
Yeah,
So
that's really.
I'm looking for a little redemption there. I'm looking to do well there. So
Right on.
I'm hoping.
I don't think he's got a list of people who's running that. I don't think
He
he's got
doesn't
the-
post it.
He doesn't post
He
it.
I
never
was
turns.
checking.
It's just
Punk.
check the button.
Yeah.
It's like just
Yeah.
flick the button
He
over.
thinks it's funny.
He does.
Because I've
Punk.
talked to him, like, are you going to do that? He goes, oh, you want to see your competition? I'm like, really?
Yeah, really, come on, just show me.
I don't.
What it really means is like Ty's still teaching school, and
Yeah.
like
He hasn't gotten around to
he
it.
doesn't even look up for Vaquero until
Listen,
the
I'm
school's
just,
done.
I'm just looking to see how many spots he's got left.
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
it.
I look. I'm like, I wonder how many, because I know people that are kind of like, oh, I might run it. I'm like, if you miss it, you're going to regret it.
Right.
Right. This will be my 5th year, so I
Yeah.
get the buckle, and I want
Ooh.
to party. Like
Yeah.
I want paparazzi. You don't-
Huckleberry soda's just spraying.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
just like a,
Yeah, you're not
do
going to
it.
want to miss this El Vaquero. I mean,
it's gonna be off the chain.
If
I'm
I-
camping there just to see the party.
yeah. And if all goes well, and I can put the ice cream down, I might even just twirl the shirt at the end.
Oh, please.
Something
Like
totally
a Brandy
crazy.
Chastain, like soccer
Absolutely.
slide
minus,
in.
minus the sports bra. Absolutely.
just bring
No,
it. I wanna-
you need to have the sports
That'd
bra.
be
If you would have
Right?
the sports bra
To keep
on
the
when you
moves
peel it
down.
off,
Someone
you're like,
get
it's a
me
vest. It's fine. It's
That's right.
support.
It's a solemn vest.
It's a
It's the newest
Solomon
one.
vest. It's a skin tight nip holder.
You're like, it's the Anna Frost model. What are you talking about?
I just need it logoed. That's all I need, just for the press, right?
It's just a big deal. No
Yeah.
big. No big.
But that's a great race. So
Yeah,
you know.
so I can't complain there. And then I'm doing some of the Under Armour Mountain series.
okay.
Right.
So
Good
that's a
segue.
new series that's coming in.
Right.
I think I'm going to the Mount Bachelor in July, which will be fun. That's going to be. I think I'll race the 50K there.
Is that where?
Wow.
Is that like the dating show?
Yes.
The Mount Bachelor.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Oh, that's a different one.
That's a different one.
Okay.
I love that show, but just love it. But yeah, so I'm gonna go do that. At least one of those. So it'll be a good time, and then probably finish with the rut.
Wow.
That's a good finish.
Shutting us
though.
down. I like it.
When what
We'll see.
distance on the rut?
55.
55.
Or, yeah, whatever that one. Yeah, that big one. Because
That
I
big one.
needed a little redemption there as well. So.
Okay.
Joel and I are signed up for the 11K.
Yeah.
Ooh, you guys got in.
Yeah, barely.
Barely.
That was the only thing left to sign up for.
Yeah.
Is that
really
the kids'
was.
K? That was it.
Oh, the kids' K.
And I didn't want to shave before I got there.
No, and
I'm
plus you
pretty
got to run really fast in the
Yeah.
kids'
The
K. To
Kids'
be
K is
honest.
fast. I
It
mean,
is.
I don't want to drop anything, but I'm pretty sure my kids won the Ogden Trail
Yeah.
series, whatever
really?
kids race.
Right.
Kids' K.
Yeah.
Just my 6-year-old might have won the overall.
Wow.
Right
Big
on.
deal. So they're coming for you, and they're coming for you. at
They
the
go off
rut.
the line fast.
Yeah, I don't know where they learned that crap.
Yeah.
I like to pace myself on those kids' Ks.
Yeah.
There's like barriers and stuff you have to jump over at the rut. It's tough.
I'm out. It's
I
like a
like it.
Spartan kids
Hey,
game.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
They got fire and electrical cords and stuff.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna get after him. Cattle prods chasing him. It's not a big deal.
Run, kid.
Those mics, they're pretty brutal.
So let's see. So we're gonna leave probably on there, ending at the rut.
Probably, unless it gets something joneses me into September.
Eric might
October.
need a pacer at the Bear.
Everybody is taking it to Bear.
Yeah.
We have so many friends running it,
Yeah.
or pacing it, or crewing it. That might be my first no crew, no pace 100-miler.
That's a good one to do.
My
Yeah,
wife
that's
my
good
wife
to
and
do it,
daughters
yeah.
are going to Comic-Con that weekend.
They've had enough at that point. They're
Yeah.
like, no, we're not.
We're
going
like, we
there.
got tickets. We'll see you Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like,
I'm
screw
like-
you, we're out.
Yeah,
We'll,
I'm
we'll
like,
make it
okay.
up after there. Hopefully hang
Yeah.
out.
So I'm like, all right.
Well,
You
maybe
got
I have
that
to come up.
turtle come up and do it for you.
I don't know. It might get too windy.
It'd blow away
blow
by
away.
that time. That
He's
poor
a
guy.
little dude.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, Turtle. I'm
Yeah.
jealous.
We love
too.
you, Turtle. Oh, you're just a wisp of the man you used to be.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah, a shade of what he used to be.
Except we saw him eat 8 Twinkies though. So let's.
Oh my gosh, that looks so
He's
painful.
still got an inner fat kid.
Yeah.
It's still in there. It's still in there.
That's funny.
The turtle we've come to know and love is
That's
still
right.
in there.
He's still there. We just got to get him out.
Mm-hmm. Feed him Twinkies. Apparently, that's how you get it.
So you did mention, and we'll talk about that, Under Armour.
Yeah.
So they've made kind of a splash, really, because it kind of came
They
from
went all
nowhere.
in.
Yeah, they went and then they just
Yeah.
said, "Hey, we're in." So they're in the trail running.
Yeah,
They've
come
got
hard
their
at it.
race series,
Yep.
right?
New gear.
New gear,
Lots of new gear. Yeah,
and you happen to wear their gear because you are one of their athletes.
I am. I'm like the water boy,
Water
of,
boy.
of that
That's
team.
okay.
But hey, I'm happy to be there.
Yeah.
It's
Baby steps.
It's a great program. Like they're they're a big company, and so
Yeah.
they're really embracing it and putting a bunch of resources towards it. So it's exciting to see. Topher Gaylord is running the
Oh.
trail side of it. You guys know
Oh,
that
so-
guy. So
I did not know that.
come from the North Face, from
Yeah.
Mountain Hardware, from UTMB. I mean, the guy knows his stuff.
He does.
So there's definitely a lot of force behind it right now. Like I don't foresee it like being like Nike, where they kind of just
Flash in the pan.
and there's kind of we don't want to do it anymore.
Right.
Yeah, we got to focus on the
They're
two-hour
pretty
mile.
they're fall on right now. So it's a fun program to be. I mean
How did
it's a big deal.
that happen? They
Yeah.
reach out to you. They're like, "Do we need
No.
some facial hair on the team?"
No.
We need an
Well,
older person on the
They,
team.
they do have the Kyle Dietz, so he's got the big beard. So
Yeah.
I can't win that. So no, it actually came. I mean, I became friends with Kyle a few years ago at Tusher's actually, and
Okay.
we ran a bunch the last few years, and it's just kind of come around, and we've done a bunch of stuff together, and it just worked out that I'm on with them, and
So you got shoes, apparel,
Yep.
whole kit.
shoes, apparel, yep, the whole bit. So it's a good time. It's pretty fun to see, and they're great support, and it's just wild, man.
So I'm curious.
Yeah.
Tell me about the shoes.
Right.
'Cause
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking, the trail side. You've got
Yeah.
all the big boys out there. Now we've
Yeah.
got Under Armour, which you wouldn't think of trail shoes. I
Yeah.
mean, I wouldn't. So
No.
what's the deal with
Their
those?
new Horizon series. These aren't them. These are my these are like streetwear shoes.
Okay.
Guys.
Oh.
You guys are
We're-
eyeballing
yeah,
my
we're
shoes.
looking-
Checking them out.
They're
We're checking them
eyeballing
out.
through the glass table on my
Yep.
shoes. No, they have the new Horizon series. So I run everything in the KTV, which is their lightest kind of racier version. I like it. Has a good cushion, good protection, but it's still kind of got that feel. It feels like to me, I used to love like the old La Sportiva Helioses. It feels like that but without the waffle, like a little more protection on it. So it's
Okay.
got the same fit and do it in a really bomber upper and Michelin grip on the bottom, and they're low 9 ounces and have I think they have a 7 drop.
Okay.
7 mils drop, so it's not too bad, kind of right in that sweet spot. It's one of those things. It's one of those shoes that I just put on and I was like, it just like worked, just
Right.
fit out of the gun. So, I've worn out a couple of pairs now, but
Wow.
they go a long time, super durable, which I've been happy about, especially for a race type shoe.
And how long have you been with those guys?
Just a couple months.
Okay.
Really like February, March, like kind of February, March-ish, I think is when it kind of finally all came in. We've been talking for a long time, probably over a year.
Oh, wow.
And it's just the way it all kind of came together, and they brought on there's only 5 of us on the team, and so it's pretty low key. I'm definitely, I feel like the slowest on the team, but I'm
Most
happy
experienced.
to be there. Yeah, well, not even that. I don't
Oh,
even win.
I
I can't even
tried.
get a win on that. I'm the oldest. I have the least experience.
Most
I mean,
kids?
Yes,
There you
I
go.
win with
You
most
won-
kids. I have
won
the best
though.
mustache.
There we go.
That's true.
Because I mean, Cody Reed, it's his mustache.
So who's on the team? You just mentioned a
So
couple.
Kyle Dietz out of Iowa. He spends a lot of time here in Utah.
Oh, he's that MMA fighter.
He's the fighter.
Yeah.
Yep, trail fighter. They did a online video on him
Right.
a couple years ago. Cody Reed, speedy dude from Flagstaff.
Mm-hmm.
Eo Wang from the Bay Area,
She's
who
fast.
is just
Killing it this year.
crushing.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah, she's winning
So
everything.
how do you
She's gonna
say her
win
first
Western.
name?
EO.
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 Yeah,
Because
like-
I've
I hope
killed
I'm,
it.
I'm,
No,
hope
that's
I'm
exactly-
saying
That's
that
exactly how I
right.
do it. EO.
I've
Okay.
not met her yet, so
Okay.
we're Instagram friends if that
Right.
counts. But and then
counts. Insta
Kelly,
buddies.
and then Kelly Wolf out of Silverton, Colorado, who's another kind of young post-collegiate speedy runner who's crushed in the mountains. Like she ran Flagstaff, bunch of the shorter sky race stuff last year, and just she crushed everybody at Flagstaff when we were going and watching what they're doing. So she's one. She's a little injured right now, but she'll be one that's going to be really fun to watch.
Right.
And so where's Under Armour out of? That's kind of your
Baltimore is the main location there, and then they do have some of the stuff comes out of Portland. They have a big office there.
Okay.
But yeah, they're kind of all over the place.
And so the athletes that are on the team, are they more of that technical, like 25K type distance? Is it people like 50K? I mean, is it more shorter, quicker,
Well,
technical?
EO, she's kind of long.
Well, yeah,
EO was
she's-
Western States last year. She was
Yeah.
top 10,
and
she's got a golden ticket this
Yeah.
year with a Sonoma win.
killed
So
it with some of the other races
yeah,
too.
she's
on
killing
point
it.
right now.
It's going to be exciting to watch. I mean,
Yeah.
everything she lines up with right now, she's a threat. So, and she's really relatively pretty new to it. She's
Yeah.
only been racing on the dirt for a couple of years now. So, she's really impressive. I mean, Cody Reed has been killing it. It's exciting to see what he can do and where he's at. I think he's going to the World Champs, the 50K World Champs, with Hayden in that group, and so that'll be a fun one to see. And then
U.S. is representing.
yeah, we've
Right?
got some fast
We got
guys
some
now. It's
fast-
kind of fun to watch,
The
man.
ladies and the fellas, or it's like a reinvigoration of that.
It really is.
speed.
It is.
And it's cool in like the
Badassery.
technical side of we've always had the grinder 100-mile
Right,
guys,
yeah.
but it's fun to see some speedy technical guys
Mhm.
out there pushing the limits. Jim and Hayden and now Cody and those guys kind of coming around. There's some fast dudes.
And there's more because it's like every week or so, it seems like you hear a new name.
Yeah,
you got
you're pulling
Mako
new-
too.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Mako,
Chris
he just
Mako
quit his job
If
to
he doesn't
kill it.
blow up,
Yeah, I saw that. He's that's kind of the thing with those guys though, is
Mhm.
that's and they admit it, which I love. They're like, you know what, we're gonna make the most of it right now.
Well, you almost have to.
got
it.
2 years. I'm going to go out
Yeah.
and crush it.
Well, and they bring that mindset, I think, from the track side and
Mhm.
from that thing. I mean, you've got a window of time, whether
Right.
it's an Olympic window, whether it's your collegiate season, whatever, but you've got to kill it. And so
Right.
they push the limits on those, and I think it makes for, as far as spectating of these races, a lot more fun.
Well, it's good too because there's that opportunity now because of sponsorships.
Right.
Yeah.
Before that wasn't possible.
No.
7-8 years ago, even it's like
It wasn't.
I got to work and hope I can get away for this race. Or,
Right.
And now it's like, no, you're an athlete. That's your job.
Yeah.
Brian's got that problem still.
Yeah.
I still got. I got too many kids.
It's like, man, I got to go to daycare. I got to change that diaper.
Yeah.
I got soccer after soccer. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Plus, he's got to fly fish.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got to fish.
Yeah,
you got.
He's got to fish.
You got to post those pretty
Yeah. Well, his
photos.
sponsor
yeah.
wouldn't be happy if he didn't.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's
Yeah.
true. My
So-
other sponsors. Yeah.
So who are you? Got Under Armour. That's kind of like your head to toe guy.
yeah,
Right.
Under Armour, and actually, my main sponsor is Backcountry.
Okay.
Backcountry.com. So we have a new program with them that's bringing in the athletes there. That across the sport, there's only 3 or 4 of us right now, but they're actually only going to bring on about a dozen, and it's kind of a different athlete program for them. It's not the professional skier, snowboarder, conquer the mountain type thing. They actually want people who do real stuff that are like not just professional athletes, but have real
Live
jobs, have
professionals.
fun, like those kind of, high enough level that you respect their opinion and what they do, but then can apply them to, I guess it relates probably with their
Consumer.
consumer, right? So
For sure.
it's been a really good fit and a fun program for me with them. They're local, which helps a lot. I'm the only one that's local. I think we have Kate, who's up in British Columbia. She's a snowboard guide, single mom. She's rad. Then we have another one out of Portland she's a runner. And there's a couple, but I'm the only one that's here in Utah. And So it's been really fun to work with those guys, and I get to be their trail running ambassador, their fly fishing ambassador, and ski mountaineering. So it's pretty all right. I get to like hang out and do those kind of things. So, so the Under Armour thing's kind of in conjunction with them because they carry Under Armour and it's one of their deals, and so we work together with them. But yeah, backcountry's been a really great fit for me. So
Nice.
I'm excited. A lot more to come from those guys. You'll see here in the next 6-8 months.
Cool.
But and then Scratch Labs, those guys have been with for a while. They're awesome.
We love those guys, man.
Good stuff.
Yeah, they're awesome. And Pock Eyewear, that's those are the guys. So.
Right on.
So it's been good. We've had a lot of fun. And so this year's shaping up to be pretty wild.
Nice.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about the series for Under Armour.
So 3-race series.
All right.
They're doing it Mount Bachelor, and then I'm not sure on the exact dates. So then they'll go to Vermont, and then they'll come back and finish in Copper Mountain. 3-race series, but they'll have any distances from 5K up to 50K, including marathon, half marathon, 10K.
Wow.
And the whole bit. So it should be a good thing, kind of good. They're working on it. It's a whole weekend. It's a festival type thing. It's the first year of the season, of the series, but it should be a great time.
Yeah, I think it'll be a nice filler since we lost that big one last year.
Yeah.
La Sportiva.
It's kind of out. So I think it's Phil, and they're really looking at I think the discrete series sets Julian's done a great job with that series, and
he's expanding quite a bit.
Yeah,
right?
he's expanding like crazy, and I think Under Armour's still involved with his series as a bit as well. But he's shown that you can do it as a festival and people want to hang out and do things instead of
they do.
As much as I love our races, they're not exactly like a place you want to hang out. Right, like we start in the dark, we end in the dark. It's nobody.
Well, wait a minute. Ours didn't.
Yeah,
yours guys
ours is at 5:30 at night.
Yeah, you guys had it. You guys are ahead of the curve.
Yeah. We are. We noticed that too with ours is just that hanging out part.
Yeah,
because the night before we did the film thing and people wanted to hang out. We couldn't get them in the theater to watch the film. They wanted to hang out and shops, tell stories and have beverages and
eat food.
It's fun. I mean, that part of it's just be able to hang out and then you go race and you're like, oh hey. But
and that's those distances you're talking about, the 5 to 50K, that just fits perfectly. Even a 50K, you can still finish and
you still finish. And it's one of those things that you can take the family. My wife can go race the half marathon, and I'll hold the kids on one day, and then I'll go race 50K on another one. So
that's really
cool.
Good idea.
Yeah, it's fun. I hope it'll expand and see some more. Love to see a Utah stop on that and support it that way. But yeah, it's fun. I'm excited for it.
They can do an up a powder.
Yeah,
there you go.
Got a level Powder Mountain.
Like that.
Yeah, that'd be a good fit for it. So
different.
Yeah, because I don't want to do it, so somebody needs to do it.
Somebody else needs to do it. Yeah.
We have all kinds of ideas if people want them.
Yeah.
Really, sell them. Just barter those out.
That one was for free. So there we go.
Anytime you want, guys.
That's your first teaser.
That's your first teaser. So you're on Under Armour now.
Yep.
And you did something else this year.
I did. It was kind of right after I was on Under Armour.
Right.
Quickly got pulled about 6 days before, got pulled into a trip to Dominica.
And where's that at?
Down in the Caribbean.
Okay.
Yeah, clear down below the Virgin Islands.
It's way down there.
It's way down there.
Right.
And be completely honest, I had to look it up. I had
That's
no
okay.
idea where it was. I actually thought when they were talking about it that it was the Dominican Republic.
That's what I was thinking.
Those are two different places.
They are two different places.
Very different places. So I had to look those up. The island and country of Dominica.
Right.
Awesome place. Wild island, man.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, just rugged.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like monkeys and lions.
No, they don't have. So
lions.
That's their big thing is that there's nothing there that can kill you.
Oh, so no snakes, scorpions.
They got snakes. They got big freaking snakes.
But they can't kill you.
Boa constrictors.
They can kill you.
Yeah, but they're not poisonous. That's their caveat with it. Like, they got nothing that's poison.
So they got like an asterisk. Nothing will kill you. Asterisk,
yeah.
but they can choke you
unless you're really slow, and that thing can wrap you up.
Great.
I'm out.
Yeah, we ran across one. They're like, oh, it's a little one. It was like 8 feet long. It was all the way across the road. I was like,
Did you take a selfie with it, or like jump on its back like
I
you're
did
riding
take.
it?
I took a little picture of it
Nice.
with it. I was pretty out of it. It was pretty in the dark, but I was like, yeah, we got to get some pictures with this thing because
Yeah,
it was
'cause
cool.
we're-
My kids will be pumped.
Our
Yeah.
podcast is big in Dominica, so
It's a big
you'd think
di-
we would know.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe you guys haven't followed up on that. I mean, that's Dominica. That's a big flow with it. So, oh yeah, man.
How'd you get roped into going
Yeah.
down there? I mean, like you said, you didn't know where it was. So how did this happen?
Yeah, so it was with Outside Television. They kind of came together. This is a project they've been working on.
Right.
And then they brought in, they approached Under Armour and wanted to have an athlete to run this trail. So there's a trail called the Waitukubuli Trail in Dominica that basically it's this awesome through hiking trail that goes through think like Appalachian Trail, that kind of
Right.
thing. Like guys take like 4, 5, 6 days to do it.
Yeah.
And it actually was funded by the European Union. It's a UNESCO site now. Like it's this amazing trail system that kind of goes end to end on the island. And the island's, it's not very big. The island's maybe 20 miles wide by like 40 miles long.
Right.
But this trail is, we don't really know exactly how long it is. The trail is like anywhere from 95 to 125 miles long. That was part of the issue. Yeah, so they have this awesome trail, and it's pretty rugged. And so those Outside Television has been working with the island of Dominica, kind of putting this project together, and they approached Under Armour, and it's a good fit for Kyle Dietz to do it. And Kyle and I are real good friends and done a lot of projects and running together last couple of years. And so he approached me after he only got word of it about 3 weeks before that he was going. And so it was kind of and this was February, March, April.
Right.
Like I guess it was probably March because we did it in April. But then he kind of brought me in, and I was like, man, because I had another trip booked with backcountry that I was supposed to go to Canada for, and I was like, I can't. I'm like, dude, I got work and kids and stuff. Like I can only, these are 2 awesome trips, but I had to choose like back and forth, and like they're kind of still pushing. And he finally called. He's like, dude, I need you to come. Like I need somebody else to kind of come and can run with me and help support and be there as a support runner. So I was able to shuffle some things around with backcountry, and they were supportive of this project and able to come in and literally I think we flew out on a Sunday. I got on and my travel got booked like the Tuesday before.
Wow.
And it was like I was packing for a 6-day backcountry ski trip.
Right.
That was supposed to be that week, so like I was already like packing. All of a sudden, I was just like throw all that out the window.
Right.
And I'm a planner. I like to like prep. I've been packing for like a month. Like this one, I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't even know. I'm like just throwing shorts in a big pile, and I'm
You
like,
gotta get that
Speedo.
thong out.
Oh,
right?
yeah, I'm like,
Get
yes.
the island thong.
exactly. I'm like, don't even worry that I haven't probably worn shorts before then because it's been so cold and snowy. I've been running in tights, and it's on the equator and 95 degrees and 95% humidity. So it was
Totally acclimated before
I
you
was
left.
right on it, dialed in. So yeah, it was. So they brought us in for that, and that project and they were going to film it, show the trip, show the island, what it can do, and our goal was to finish that trail and set the fastest known time for it, which we didn't really know. We can't find any information on the trail. Like the one we only found like guys that had done most of the trail in like 4 or 5 days, but nobody had tried it in one single push. So, and we had no idea. They didn't have any GPS files of it. They had no sending us. It was like one website, and like literally like they put these charts and they'd say, oh, it's 125 miles, but then you add up all these segments, and you're like, it only adds up to like 100. Where's the other ones like floating around? And so that was all that from the beginning. That was a few red flags for us. We were like, holy cow, we would like to know more about this.
Right.
Like, what are we getting ourselves into? Because they're asking us, like, they're trying to plan, they're shooting this for a TV show. And so they're like, they're trying to tell us like, how fast or where do you think you'll be and all these things. And we're like, we can't say anything. We have no idea what we're getting ourselves into. And so we were really apprehensive about doing it. And then the trip, because of travel, got cut down a day on each end of it. So like we flew all day overnight, flew all day into Monday, had 1 day to prep, ran for 2 days, then 1 day post-production, and then fly out the next day.
Wow.
So it was like, holy cow, we only have this amount of time to do it. And so it was wild. Some sleepless nights trying to figure out, poring over maps, Google Earthing, trying to find anything we can.
Right.
But none of it led to when we finally got on the island and went, holy crap.
This is not what we were even kind of thinking.
No, because like it took us like 5 flights to get there, leapfrogging on all these islands, and like you go to like I don't know, like Aruba or Martinique or any of those, like St. Martin. They're all kind of flatter Caribbean type islands,
right.
like not deserty, kind of flatty. So we're like, oh yeah, we could get that. And you're flying out of those islands, and we're all looking out the windows. We're like, yeah, we can. This was cool. We can do this. Like, we land on there, and the reason you can't get a direct flight is because they don't have enough flat land to actually make an international airport to land big airplanes.
Get his plane in there. Huh?
So shoot you out.
Yeah.
Oh, it was like getting in there. It was like you banked around and flew down this canyon, and then
nice.
the air or the runway ends right at the ocean, and like it was a little rowdy coming in. We had the biggest eyes looking at us as we coming in. Oh yeah, we're looking at it and going, oh, like not only the flight was a little sketchy getting in, but then like just looking at it like, holy crap, this is real. Like this island is
legit. Huh?
Yeah, like 5,000. I think the top peak is like 5,000 feet.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, from yeah, and we're leaving from the ocean,
right.
and like, and there's no flat land. It's like it's the only way I could describe it is like if you took like the island of like Maui or Oahu on Hawaii, all those big mountains, but then shrank the actual like circumference of it like to like a third of the size of those islands, but still kept all those mountains.
Right.
So everything is just up and down, and there's just no flat land anywhere.
Gotcha.
And then it's just jungle.
So So when you were flying in, you looked out the window. You didn't see like a little dude in a white suit just going, "Deplane."
No, I was looking for that guy. I was
flying into Fantasy Island or something.
It felt like that a little bit. It was a little wild. So
thinking, man, I'm glad I got microchipped before I came down here.
Yeah, exactly. I hope somebody can follow us. I'm like, I had to like send a Google pin to my mom and to my wife. Like, this is where I'm at. Like
right now.
Not the Dominican Republic, guys. It's a whole other island, like way farther south.
Bermuda Triangle.
Exactly. And so yeah, we flew in, and it didn't get better the day we were prepping with it, like because we actually met the government was awesome, super supportive about it, and they were like, we had a meeting to go over it, all of the heads of like the different, I don't know if they're like counties or whatever, the different regions within this tiny little island, like 6 or 8 of those guys, and then the head of all the tourism, she was with us the whole time, and then we had the head of the military, the head of the police, fire and rescue. Or all there, like we had all these military guys.
Were they all the same person? Cause it's such a small
no, they were like all these dudes, and literally.
No, see, that person kept changing outfits.
Yeah, he just like he disappeared, come back, like puts on another jazzy one with more medals.
That, that grease in the wheel every time too, right?
We take care, you know how it goes, that third world living.
That's right.
Give me a handshake.
That's right.
Is that a gel?
They didn't want any gels. It was weird. But it was, and we're sitting in this big meeting with all these people, and they keep asking us, like, they were under the perception that we were going to run during the day and then come back to the hotel. Oh, like that was they full on thought. And so when we told them, no, we're just going to keep going, they literally laughed. Like one of the military guys just laughed, like threw his hand down and like wanted to walk out. Like, stood up. I was like, it's not a good sign. I don't know.
The Gestapo's gone.
But we're like, yeah, no, really, we're just going to keep going. Like, we're just going to push on.
So what was their were they concerned, or was that just something new to them?
It was not even in their wheelhouse. Like, it didn't even think that somebody would want to do that or could do that. Like, and then we kind of had to explain to them that, like, this is kind of what we do. Like, like we run, like Kyle's done lots of 100-milers. Like, we run in the mountains. Like, this is, we're not scared of the mountains. Like, this is what we do. And
we're not
we've
scared
done
of
it, and we've done it before. I'm a little scared of snakes. But, yeah, it was like to kind of get them to wrap their heads around what that is and what we could do, just not really. So
they're going to provide you guys support then?
Yeah, so that was part of the support. The cool thing about this trail is it's broken into 14 segments. So like you're seeing them every 15 to 18 kilometers, right? So you're just like jump ahead, and like so we had like a convoy. We had like 6 or 8
got a tank,
cars,
got a cop car,
trucks,
fire truck.
Yeah, it was like every
Health
time.
inspector.
Every time these guys were always there. Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know, there was a lot of people there, and they were all really pumped on it throughout the day.
How many runners are here doing this?
There's just 2 of us.
Just 2 of you guys.
Just 2 of us running. Oh yeah.
Who won?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Kyle won.
You guys are pretty important.
So you took third.
Yeah, exactly. It felt, it was a little weird. Like they were
Like
all
celebrity
pumped on it.
status.
I know.
And the government's all about it, and like they're telling people, we're walking out of the hotel together, and they're like telling these maids or telling the front desk, like, these guys are going to run the Waitukubuli Trail, and they're just going to not stop and all this stuff. And like people just have the biggest eyes, like get big when you tell them that, because like they know that the island is gnarly.
Right.
We got on it, and we were like, I don't know, like I honestly thought, looking at it, we could probably do it in 30 hours. That was kind of what we thought. Kyle wanted to do it in 24. That was kind of our rough estimates. We were way off.
It's like 20 then.
Yeah. It was like it was a 14-hour. I mean, what did Timmy Olsen do? Western Man? It was like 14 hours, right? Like, no, it was that thing. We jumped on the first segment, and it goes right out of the ocean. Has a 2,000-foot climb. Just boom. Like straight up.
Just kicking the nuts.
It's roots. It's gnarly technical. There's nowhere you could move fast.
Right.
There were even segments like where we would go onto the road, and they were like, there was one segment, honest to goodness, the toughest segment in this thing was there was a 2,000-foot climb that was on a road in 1.5 miles. And you were totally exposed, and it was like you were just melting. Like it was just the power up, because it's right on the equator, right? So it was like just pounding on you. And they got to the point where we were like scurrying from like shade tree to shade tree across. Like it was really like
little crabs out there.
And people just kept looking at us. Like we'd run through these little towns, and they just look at us and roll their eyes like, "Fun dumb guys. Like what are they doing?"
They've never been
Americanos.
like this close to the sun.
Yeah. They're like, they don't get it. What are they doing? And they're short shorts and frolicking around. So, it was tough. Like, but obviously the number one thing, and we were worried about this from the beginning, not just like the logistics. We kind of figured, you know what, we're going to get on the trail, and we're just going to we'll just go at it and suffer through. And we had good support going through, but we were worried about staying hydrated. I mean, we were both of us coming. Kyle was living in Boulder in the time, and I was living here in Utah. Like, it's cold, it's snowy, we've had big winters. It's not a lot of heat training and not a lot of time. It's not like we got a time to do some sauna training or anything like that. Right. So we were worried, and that was definitely a big concern. We worked with the guys from scratch, kind of put a game plan together of what it is, and we literally came down with a suitcase full of scratch that we thought could get us enough to get us all the way through it. And it was to stay on top of it. I felt like all day long. So we started like little before 6 a.m. and just pushing through all the way through, through the first couple of segments, 2, 3, 4 segments, 5 segments through into the night and stuff. And I felt like the whole time, like it's up and down climbing, like through 5, 6 segments, I was 35 miles in and 15,000 feet in climbing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it had taken us 15 hours. Whoa. Like, it was like, holy cow. And it was everything we could do to stay ahead of fully dehydrating. And we are, if you know the scratch stuff, like they have varying degrees of like salinity and stuff that goes into it. And we were taking hyper and rescue, like, which is their biggest stuff. Right. We were taking those like more than I've ever taken it, like every couple of hours at the farthest apart, and just pounding it, trying to stay ahead of it. And it was everything we could do to just get through there, get food in, right? Because it was just moving slow. It was just, they told us one segment was the most runnable segment. It was 10 kilometers of like a swamp with logs that you literally hopped like tick 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 across all the way.
It's like Frogger.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was like, this is ridiculous. And then like I slipped off, and the logs luckily like they weren't like floating, but it was like you just had to like hop across them. And I slipped off once, and it's like it's knee deep like water, and you're like, this is where we were supposed to make up time. This spot where we had like circled and said, all right, we can make some time. So
mentally you were prepared.
Yeah.
And then you got there and got crushed.
Yeah, get crushed. And you're like, we just cannot find anywhere to keep moving and get moving fast. And so we were definitely aware of like these time crunches of like how much we were prepared. And so, we made it through. And I was there predominantly. I was a support guy the whole way through. And so we actually took a spot because there was 3 segments that were the most remote and the most climbing that they were worried about. And that's the military guys were really worried about, because they don't, it's not like they have a helicopter like to go get you. They're like, if something happens in those, you're going to have to, like, we'll just drive a group of guys with a stretcher board, and they're going to walk in 3 hours to get you.
Wow.
Oh, so it's like they were really, really worried about this. So they actually pulled me after 15 hours and said, hey, we have a couple of flatter segments, flatter with air quotes, easier segments. It's dark now at this point. It's 9 o'clock at night. And they're like, you rest, take a segment or two off, and then meet us at the beginning of the first one. So I kind of ran support, and I traded our team manager, Scott Hibbert. Said he's like, I can run with Kyle for this point and go with it. And Scott's a very casual runner. He's an ex-pro skier guy, so he doesn't run that much. And so we went into it. So what was supposed to take them 3 or 4 hours took them 8 hours on their flat segment. Right. Was just brutal. I think they still had like 5,000 feet of climbing on the flat segment. And so it just was not fast moving. And at that point, Kyle had actually really deteriorated by the time I picked them back up. And I still was running support for them because we still had all these cars, but people were way less pumped at like 3 in the morning to like get out. All these military guys and like the taxi drivers and all these support. So we still had like 6 trucks and cars following us, but they were like, nobody was getting out. They're like, this has gotten old. Like, we are over this.
Cool, but we're out of
the novelty's done.
Yeah, they're like, we thought you were going to go back to the hotel. We're going to all get a nice sleep. We'll just take on this in the morning. We'll get after it when it's light. No, they weren't pumped. So I was like, supposed to be resting, but I'm like running support and like making sure they're filled up and making peanut butter and banana and sandwiches for the guys wherever we could get to them.
Drinks out of a coconut.
Yeah. No kidding. And we had some of that, and then we were hanging out with the one who was like a stalwart was the head of tourism. She was with us the whole time. She was on it with us, and she was crushing. Like
right on.
And like she even like. She had to leave at one point to go meet with the prime minister, or just to like cover her budget or something. And like she's like, I just got to present on my budget. Don't worry, I'll be there. Like I could hear her like yelling on the phone to the people at like 3 in the morning, and so
at 3 in the morning,
it was wild. So we had really good support, but so I pulled off. But during that time when Kyle overnight, it's not like it cooled off at night. Like it still was.
Super
almost
humid.
90 degrees, and the humidity
gosh.
wasn't going, and you're in the jungle, so it's not like there's breeze coming at you. There's no exposure. So it melted Kyle at that point. Like by the time I got to him, seeing him by daybreak, the next morning, so we were just about 24, 25 hours in at that point, he was just like stumbling and
so
wasn't there.
You left him at mile 35, right?
Yeah.
And then you picked him up again
at I left him at 38. I left him at 38, and we picked him up at 53 or 4.
So you're almost halfway done at that point.
Yeah.
Right.
Air quotes again because we have no idea where the end of this is, and if any of you guys have like ran 100-miler, like imagine like getting towards the end where you think you're about 100, and they're like, oh, it's just another 25 miles.
Gotcha.
I was on top, like that was our biggest fear. Like, we're like, just kidding. Like we squawk when there's another 2 miles at the end of it. We were pretty worried about that. So, but we started looking at, he was in pretty bad shape at that point.
Like dehydrated,
super dehydrated, and super just wasn't taking anything. And then he was beat up. He'd taken a fall at one point.
Different trail, like just the technicality of it was beating him up.
Yeah, he slid down in the night and just mentally just hammered with it. Right. And so he was resting. Like we basically say, hey, get a power nap in 30 minutes, whatever. But then he just kind of deteriorated, and then he started puking, and that's when we knew like that was not good at that point. Like it was, we were worried at him because we just knew that it was so close. He was so close and so much on the razor the whole time anyway, and you tip it over and start puking.
Now, during this first interval, this 24 hours, was there a camera crew out there with you guys?
Yes.
How'd that go?
So that was weird. Camera crew was weird. I mean, then there were 6 or 8 guys with really expensive cameras running around in the jungle.
Yeah.
But like they were really weird. Like they wouldn't talk to you, or wouldn't like. We were kind of at this point like we were pals and hung out and traveled with some of them there, and like. But like during the thing, they were kind of funny because like they wouldn't like talk to us,
right?
Like, and they were like,
that wasn't what they're there for.
Yeah,
they're just to document.
And like some of the guys had come from like the film Survivor and all this stuff, where like you're not supposed to talk to them at all, and like we're like, guys, it's cool, like We're running past your truck. Guess what? We're gonna steal some of your waters because
Yeah.
we need it, and you got a truck. So, oh, and they were like really weird about it. Like they did radio, like 4 people. And I'm like, guys, it's water. This is not Survivor. We're not winning $1 million. It's not like
This
I
is
don't
actual
care.
survival.
We're gonna we're gonna take your water whether you radio somebody or not.
Yeah.
So. Oh, it was kind of funny. Those guys, like, there's one point where the guys got us lost. The only time we got lost on this wild trail through the jungle was the cameraman wanting to get a shot running with us and took us down the complete wrong trail.
Oh, man. How'd you guys figure it out it was the wrong one?
We ended up back in the parking lot where they started.
Oh, shoot.
And they had all left. We were pissed. That was a low point for sure.
You got the military on your side. You could have took care of that camera.
That's
guy.
kind of thing. Except the
Blow him up,
military
right?
guys left, and we're like, nobody was there. Like we left the whole thing, and we were gone. Came back, we're 4 or 5 miles out of the way, and ended up back in the parking lot where they fed us our sandwiches before, and we're like, what the crap? Like
This looks familiar.
Yeah,
I
I'm
know.
like, really? Like, guys, really? Like, and we weren't even that far in. Like, we were probably like 15 or 20K into the run. Like, it was still pretty early. I'm like, really, guys? Like, come on, man. So, yeah, so we got to that point. So then with the cameraman and all that stuff, it was good. They were filming and kind of documenting that side of it, and it was good because they were kind of just like a third party, like always there, always a camera. And so I haven't seen it yet. I hope it turns out and tells the story well.
I'm sure that stash will look just on
I hope
point.
so. I feel like it really looks good in the jungle, but I don't
It's
know.
like a
never
jungle
know.
stash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it could be something
Had a nice
cool.
sheen on it from the humidity.
So when does this come out?
So this will air. It'll be online on the 25th
Of May.
of May. So yeah,
Coming out on Outside TV.
Outside TV the day before.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know anybody who actually has the Outside Television channel.
Yeah.
So online has way more.
Okay.
Way more on there, and we'll get you a link and stuff all for that. But it's so we'll hopefully see it. And, Kyle ended up, we wrap it up. It was like, Kyle,
Yeah,
we
let's not give away everything, right?
Yeah.
we're gonna give away because this will be after the
Right.
show. So we'll jump the shark. Kyle doesn't make it. We don't
Okay.
make it to the end. We still don't know how long this thing is.
Ooh, so there's room for you to go back.
Yes, yeah, we were already planning
Okay.
how to get back and what we would do different. But
Right.
so Kyle we end up pulling. He starts puking. We end up having to get him off there. Ends up going to a hotel. He won't let the nurse in. Kind of gets a little bit of a drama because he's like pretty out of it and won't answer the door. And
Is that going to be on TV?
I don't know if that part will be on
I
TV.
hope
This is
so.
a little bit of behind the scenes part
I
about
like
it.
this.
So yeah, like
Drop
there's
it
a
in.
little drama with that piece, and I was really out of it at that point and just eating room service as much as I could, like trying to get some food and crashing out. Net, like, so we bailed at like 9 o'clock in the morning. By like 7 o'clock that night, like Kyle still hadn't eaten, was still not doing good.
Oh, no.
And he was in a bad way. I mean, he was a bad way when we started. And so then it was like, all right, we got to get you to the hospital. And that's not something we really wanted to do. It's
Right.
not a hospital. It's a third world country.
Right.
Admittedly, there's a great, beautiful country. It's a third world country. And so they were like, all right, we'll get him. And actually it ended up like they sent this number 2 in command at the tourist, this really sharp dude, and he's like picked us up in his car, drove us to the hospital, Kyle and I and Scott, our team manager, and was like walked us to the front of the line. Kyle never signed anything. Just like walked us in,
Right.
and in this open air hospital that was their best hospital. And then they brought a doctor in that was literally camping up on the mountain with Boy Scouts.
Mhm.
And they brought him down, and he was mad. The doctor was really mad that
Comes
he
in
had
all
come in
pissed
for this.
off.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
he's like,
yeah.
I can't believe you. I'm leaving all these scouts up there and
We're working on our merit badge.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was not a happy camper. So we ended up putting, Kyle ended up being obviously severely dehydrated, rhabdo, like that kind of stuff.
my
Like,
gosh.
yeah, it was bad. So we spent probably 4 or 5 hours. I was at the hospital while he was on drips and everything, and like
okay.
literally like
And you're over there just munching on any bit of food you can get.
no, we'd left we didn't have any food, so it's not like there's a
McDonald's,
cafeteria
yeah.
or McDonald's or anything else, and then the weird thing is like they would kick us out, like they'd put a bag, put him on a drip bag, IV bag, and then say go back out to the waiting area, which is open air,
Right.
which is really weird,
Yeah.
like, and it's. For them, this was the Thursday night before a 4-day weekend, so it was a pretty rowdy time. And for like that was the big thing. They're like, we got to get you in the doctors before the whole country basically shuts down for 4 days.
Right.
And so we got him there. And
Wait a
like,
minute, is this their normal routine? Like they always have a 4-day weekend?
no, this was like Good Friday, Easter weekend. So
so
it was like
their
it was
holiday.
a big
Okay,
holiday.
gotcha.
So it was a Friday,
I was gonna
Saturday,
say, wait a
Sunday.
minute, if they always have a 4-day weekend,
Let's
relocate.
Go there.
we are going
yeah,
there.
island.
Yeah.
On the Caribbean. Yeah, no. So they were really worried. That was the biggest reason. They were like, and then we had like a 20-hour travel day back
Right.
in 20 hours. It's like, Kyle, we can't like. And he's a stubborn sucker. I mean, that's why he made it as far as he did. I love him to death, but he's dang stubborn, and it took a lot of like
Right.
talking him in and basically dragging him. And he's an ultimate fighter, so
Right.
it's not like
He's
we're
gonna give
physically
up.
going to take
Right.
him there
Just
because
start
he
giving
could
some
he could
roundhouse
That would've
punch
been
me.
awesome.
moves.
He would beat me
See
up.
that.
Even in that condition, he could still take me. So
Right.
So to your best of recollection or what you've come, what was like your time and your distance if you had to throw one out there to put on your like
In
Yeah.
that 24-hour
Running
period.
in that 24 hours, so Kyle had, so we had our Sunto watches
Uh-huh.
there, and because that was a big deal because the government was super pumped to actually get a GPS track. Honest to goodness, they were like, "You can track that, and you can give us a file." We're like, "Yeah, we can give you a file for it."
But
Like,
the military couldn't figure that out?
not, yeah, I guess not.
Have you been to Fantasy Island?
Yeah, it's pretty much like a Fantasy Island 25 years later. Like, that's pretty much what it was like.
So 24 hours you were out there.
He was out 24 hours, 55 miles,
my.
17,000 feet in gain, and 17,000 feet in
Wow.
descent. So
So about halfway, you're thinking,
yeah, I think now looking at it, it's probably going to take us another 20 hours.
wow.
Estimates to do
But
it.
this time you're going to go back to the hotel and sleep, right?
Yeah, we're going to do it over 4 days.
Yeah,
It's not a big deal. Like, we're just
exactly.
going to go hang out. It'll be cool.
Yeah.
Come back to the pool.
Yeah, take a pool, room service. It's way
Yeah.
nicer than, just more scratch. But
I think you'll like it that way.
yeah,
You'll enjoy it much
I
better.
I kind of think so. But
You're old enough now. You're allowed to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna play the old man card on this one and say,
Exactly.
So
listen,
is that going to be an Under Armour project?
I think kind of Under Armour. We're hoping it's still in the works,
Yeah.
but outside TV, I think we're gonna hopefully do a redemption.
Go
with-
back
with
same
those
time of
guys.
year. Kind of.
Yeah, kind of do it. There's definitely some things. I mean, we were in the hospital still, and we were laying out the things that we would change
Right.
and do better and different. And obviously, being there a couple more days,
Right.
having more scouting of what's ahead of us and
Do
what
some
can do.
sauna time but leading up to it.
Yeah,
Take a couple podcasters.
A lot of sun-
to,
yeah,
like,
come on
document
up.
other
Yeah, I
than
think
That'd be
just,
kind of cool.
Yeah, just like
come on
live.
out, guys.
Except
It's
for the
good
snakes.
times.
Yeah.
Let's do it. It takes like 5 flights to get there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Armed Armour's got a good budget. I
Yeah,
see him
we'll
on
be all right.
NFL.
We'll be all right.
See him
That's
on
right.
NFL.
Exactly. They're right in it, man. Steph Curry's okay. He'll fly in his
Yeah,
black
he's
jet.
okay.
That's right, man. We'll get it. I'll shimmy. I'll shimmy.
So yeah, we're hopefully gonna get there. A few more guys, a few more sport. One of the things I think we're gonna try and bring is a nutritionist, like, or somebody,
Oh, yeah.
one of our guys from scratch that can like just handle that. That was a hard thing, is because like I kind of became the de facto like
Nutritionist.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, hey, what do you need and what does Kyle need? And I was like, can't, you're cross-eyed, man. You can't, like, I don't know.
Right.
I'm like,
You need a handler.
Yeah, you need somebody to just like hands you something and just like,
Right.
you need this, drink it now, eat this now, like,
Right.
and
Somebody
so,
that greased the wheel too.
yeah, exactly. Well, we had plenty of those guys. We had
Yeah,
plenty
obviously,
of that
but you
going
need somebody
down.
that greased their wheel.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a NutriBullet. I can mix some stuff.
There you go.
on the
You got
way.
that?
Yeah.
We can get some solar powered NutriBullet.
Yeah, that'd be easy. And I could
Maybe
just
one
be
of those
Soul
hand
Zero.
crate, like,
Yeah.
could be your
yeah.
mixologist.
yeah.
I can get on a bike and pedal it,
Boom.
blend it. That's
Yeah.
kind
No
of
big
cool
deal.
right now.
Yeah, I think
I'm just trying to find my angle here.
The
Yeah,
Get
I
on
like
the
it.
trip.
You're doing a
Yeah.
little bit of everything. You're kind of like Swiss Army knife.
I
I
can
like
do
it.
that. I can support the military.
It's hey,
Can fuel their tank.
yeah, like iron their uniforms, whatever it takes.
I don't iron, so I'm
Yeah,
out of
they're
that
kind of
one.
sweaty all the time.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah, it's sweaty, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean,
a snake
yeah.
charmer.
That's true. Snakes.
We could do a lot. I think me and Joe can.
I think, come on out, boys. It'll be good times. We'll bring a party. Yeah, so.
As long as we can go back to the hotel at night.
Yeah,
Yeah, no kidding.
Like
It-
if I'm back to the hotel by 5,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
A
you
happy
go
hour.
before dinner, happy hour.
Yeah.
That's the kind of time we want to go
Yeah,
with
prime
it.
the pump before you get the food.
Yeah. Then in
Exactly.
the
Be
morning we'll
ready.
take off around 10.
Yeah, like you
10.
need a little pool time. I mean, right? A little
Oh,
beach
man,
time,
yeah.
kind of some.
If I'm gonna wax, I need to.
You can need a little. We'll give you a little more ahead than 6 days.
Yeah,
We
we've heard
know
of
how much waxing.
the Dominicana wax. Dominica wax.
It's not Brazilian. It's Dominican.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Dominica.
Dominica wax.
Dominica, there we go.
Dominica wax.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
okay. I said it wrong so much.
Yeah.
So it's wild, man. That was a eye-opening trip.
That's awesome.
So I
Sounds
hope
like
to be
a
back.
crazy
I want
adventure.
to do it again because that trail is unbelievable. That's what's so cool about it. Is like the trail is beautiful. It's well marked. Like it's so cool you could do that. Like we talked about it. I'd love to see like a Trans Rockies type race. Doing that over it would be so much fun and so cool. And because it's broken segments like that where you can hop and you could have the support there, it would be so cool.
There you go.
Oh, so needs to get
so
on
there's
that.
another idea, guys. Just dropping bombs.
Permit shouldn't be a problem. You're going to have support of the island.
Yeah, I was going to say, permitting's pretty cool. Like, you just, like, knock on the big White House and the main house.
I told you it's Fantasy Island. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, we were across the hotel from the president's house. It was no big deal.
Man.
So, So, it's a wild adventure.
Awesome.
Sounds like it. I like it.
Yeah.
That's super cool. I can't wait to see that thing come out.
Yeah.
Just to watch it. Just having some of the inside and actually knowing the, at least somebody
on
there.
the main character.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes you watch these cool things, and when you know somebody, it just adds to it.
Yeah.
Right? Because you know them.
I have no idea, like, I don't want to build up. It could be like a 5-minute thing. I have no idea what, like, the footage and how they're going to spin. I have not seen it yet. But we spent a week there, so I hope that they got enough footage to do something different.
Well, I'm not expecting a mini-series.
I'm hoping so. I mean, something there. But I'm trying to set the bar pretty low. I don't know how much my mustache will be in it, guys. I'm just there as a support runner, but
gotcha.
I hope that the glistening of my mustache shows up.
Sweat in there, a little coconut oil.
Coconut oil.
Some natural. Yeah. Oh, it's just, I come out just wonderful.
It's monkey spit. You got just everything working for you.
Oh, yeah, all that thing. All that thing. We got to go.
Scratch in there, some drool.
There's a lot of dried drool, a lot of dried chews. It's cool. No big deal. So, yeah, man.
Well, right on.
It was awesome.
Well, that's cool. We're excited to check that out for sure, and also just kind of see what you got going with this whole Under Armour thing. It's intriguing because we've talked about other companies jumping in the mix. We've lost some. We've lost some companies
this year. For sure.
So having some new blood in there to stir the pot with some of the big boys or some of the.
Well, it's nice to see somebody with that kind of. It's that big of a company wanting to really take an interest in what they can do.
Right.
They're new to the footwear game, and they admittedly, right, they've only had their running is less than 5 years. Or they've only been making shoes less than 5 years. So So there's some new stuff, but man, they're pumped and they're excited to do things, and they're open to feedback. So it's cool. Just need to get more people in the shoes, honestly.
Right. Well, that's what's going to make them successful is being able to take feedback.
Right.
Because there's been some floaters out there saying, "Oh, they wouldn't take our feedback on this, that, or the other."
Yeah.
I think that's a really cool idea. And then I'm sure the athlete summits are pretty cool, getting to hang out with Steph Curry.
Yeah, Steph and I, he's my boy.
He's
Bryce Harper. We're cool like that.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see you lining up with those guys.
Yeah, I don't know. I hung out with Kyle once. That's about the most summit I want. Like, Kyle slept on my floor. So that's about we're still our trail running. It's Under Armour, but still trail running.
So if you get Steph or Bryce on your floor sleeping, you better Instagram that.
Yeah, I'll be
That'd be cool.
It'll be cool, guys. It's all right.
It's all right. You can borrow my sleeping pad.
Yeah, anytime you want, Steph. Just come on by. You can park the jet out front.
Well, he listens to the show. That's what he travels with. That's how he kind of gears up for his games.
Go, Steph. You got it, buddy.
Yeah, right.
That's we're all about it.
So right on, man. Well, thanks for coming back on the show.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
I know it's hard to get you back into Park City Run Company. Seems like Canis has been telling us you avoid him now. So we're glad to get you back in.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's because he's still in my wife as the team manager of the Park City Run team. So I don't see her as much. But he got me a muffin. So
he did.
He did.
Nice.
I'm
on board with him.
He kind of give you the handshake, gave you the muffin.
Yeah.
We're down. It's just been a while since we've seen each other. It's good. So
and it's always good to come back here.
Yeah.
So it's a good excuse for us. We saw you again, which is always good.
Always good to see you guys.
Because you came down to the Ogden Trail Running Festival, like we mentioned.
Right.
Kind of supported us there through Scratch. We
that.
definitely appreciate that. Sorry about the
health inspector.
The health inspector getting on you.
Oh, I thought you were going to apologize that I brought my ringer kids to win the
that's cool.
1K.
No, but they're ringers. We're good.
That's all right.
They come from good stock.
That's right.
That's
they got the grit going on.
Yeah. So we're okay with that. But yeah, I think she was more on the health department was the mustache. She was kind of just wanting to go through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just tough. They just wanted to comb through it, make sure. I need one of those like little lip like beard net things, but only we can just keep it over my mustache.
That'd be cool. Just a mask.
Just a little small one.
That'd be cool.
That'd be nice. Yeah, I think I'd look good at that. She probably would have had one of those.
She probably does.
She's
like the fanny pack.
Yeah.
Here it is.
So yeah, it's good. I was pumped to support you guys. Sounds like we're going to be at some of the races together.
We are.
Nice. Yep.
I'm excited for the party at Vaquero.
Yeah, that's
I'm
gonna
excited
be fun.
too.
Oh, it's going to be off the chain.
That's always a fun time. And there's still some slots left.
There are.
But
we don't know how many because
Right.
I don't know. The race director
doesn't click the button.
His
doesn't
shenanigans.
he doesn't know how many is left.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah, we did. We asked him too. How many spots? He goes like 90.
Yeah.
And then I think we looked, and I think it might even have said
It
or
does say,
percentage, and it was
yeah.
less than that.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll give him a little leeway. He's got another week,
Yeah.
week or
He'll be
two
done.
of school left, and then he'll be done. So we'll leave him. We'll let him be. Usually
Right.
by Scout Mountain, he's feeling a little refreshed. So
Gotcha.
Right on.
we'll get a little word on what's going on in Vaquero, but it'll be good times. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, make sure you keep us updated on the Under Armour stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
That'll be kind of cool. Maybe even to look at some, do some reviews or
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
I'm doing something together. I think you guys would dig them.
Yeah, sweet. All right. Well, thanks for coming back on.
Yeah.
You look great, as always. And we're looking forward to seeing what you got going on this year, and I'm sure we'll have you back on.
Hope
It's
so.
always
I
a
mean,
good time.
we
You,
will.
you know how to work the mic.
I'm trying to chase the turtle. So
Yeah.
what's he been on, like 8 times?
Chase the turtle. I like it.
that.
Hashtag chase the turtle.
He's
Yeah.
3.
He's 3. He's
Luke's
our
2.
Luke's 2.
You're
I
2.
swear Luke's had 2 this year.
He might. We had on the phone and in Joel's
in
in
the
Joel's-
basement.
in
There was
bedroom.
Joel's your basement that
Yeah,
one time.
My basement. Yeah.
So
with
we
the
told you, too.
spoons.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
spoons. That's right.
That was
Yeah,
weird.
That
That
was
was
weird. I
weird.
was sitting there.
That took a really weird turn. I felt uncomfortable
Yeah,
listening to it.
Rarely happens. This show takes a weird turn. Though,
No,
so,
no,
Yeah,
not at
where
all.
we're actually like uncomfortable.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's only happened a couple times.
Yeah,
Right.
that was a memorable moment. So
Yeah. Cross my arms in front of myself and kind of like, what?
that's right up there with
Feel
like
dirty.
what's her name when you had the donut off with Ty and
Oh yeah,
And he
Debbie.
admittedly says he cheated pretty much. So
Well,
just
he
for the
has
record.
Wyoming rules.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
That's a
I
whole
didn't
other
know.
thing.
Which I didn't know.
He put down 3 so fast.
I
Out of
heard.
the gate.
That's the key, though.
Yeah, you have to.
You
'Cause
got
if
ahead
if
of
you're
it.
a little bit slow, then it hits you hard.
Yeah,
Has
but
time
towards
to-
the end, you were hearing it.
Oh yeah,
It was
he
like,
did not look good.
It didn't sound good. He was
Yeah.
like, I swear I could hear his stomach grumbling
Oh,
through
you
the
could
mics.
just see he got pale at the end.
Well, the best
Well,
part
he's
is
just a ginger. That's just
Yeah,
his
that's
normal
true.
coloring.
well, the best part is after that, me and Jill had to head back and try and shovel his truck out of the
That's
gutter.
right.
That's right.
So
Oh
we
my
just
gosh.
slammed all these donuts, and then
Yeah.
we're trying to do manual work, and I'm like,
straight up manual work too,
I'm
man.
burping yeast, and I'm like, whoa.
Cake donuts.
Yeah.
I'll
Oh yeah.
never-
Oh,
That's
the
the-
cake donuts were okay. So when
Not
we
for me.
transitioned to the glaze, oh man, that was hard.
I can rock
That's a
those
rookie
cake
mistake.
ones.
You can't get on the cake. You can't
no,
go
the
early
cake. I was fine with the cake. I could have kept
couldn't.
crushing
Well,
those.
I could have just kept
I
slamming
had a bad
those
experience.
glazed.
I can't do a cake.
Yeah, but yeah, trying to push Joel's car. See, he left. He's like, "Oh, you guys, I have to go."
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
I gotta
Yeah.
go shopping with my wife.
Yeah, which we know that wasn't what he did. And then
Yeah.
we're out there shoveling,
Yeah.
pulling with my car. Which
Right.
got those little warm burps coming up.
Oh.
At least you're outside though. It's
Yeah.
one of those things that just takes the weight off. Like I'll puke. I don't care.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was
Snow will
hot.
cover it up before.
Yeah,
I
that's
know
how it
anybody.
was too.
Yeah.
We're like, I'll just shovel on that. So it might even help us get out. Like put it down like cat litter.
There you
It's
go.
tire.
Boom. Drop it down.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
Good
thank you,
luck,
guys.
Super. More excited. Now I'm even more excited for El Vaquero.
Oh, yeah.
It's just going to be.
Oh, it's
going to
be good times.
It'll be
If
fun.
you
Trail
haven't
Manners
signed up
can
yet,
be.
you better
I
get
know.
on it because who knows how many people are actually.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we're all on it, us three are all going to be
It's
there.
gonna
I
be
mean,
fun.
it's going to be off the chain.
Oh, we could sit here all day and name the people we know, and they're
I
like
know.
fun people.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this is going to be like.
Camp, and we're all going to camp in that tiny
Oh, yeah.
spot that are along the
I'm
lake.
going to pull a houseboat up there, put on the lake.
That's the way to do
Slide.
it. I think if you could be on the houseboat.
Wait, that lake's kind of. It's pretty, but I don't like getting into it.
If you get in,
It's
near the-
really cold.
It's
that's
yeah,
the best
once
part.
cold, you gotta get into it down at
By
the
the
rock.
river.
Yeah, by the
Oh,
rock
yeah,
area.
ends.
Yeah,
That's-
not by the campground.
Yeah, that's where
well,
you get
that's
like
kind of like
sucked in the
algae
mud and
and
algae.
kind of stinky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just stick my face doing those algae masks.
Makes
That's the
it
best.
good. That's,
there.
I noticed you're looking very clear.
I do.
Good job.
Yeah, that's what the algae mask will do. So,
So be there. Be
Yeah.
there. Be there. It's going
at
to be
El Vaquero.
El Vaquero's going to be off the chain.
Your last warning until the next show.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Well,
Thanks, guys.
Good luck for the year. Thanks for coming on the show. And again, thanks for Canis here and Park
Yeah.
City Run Co. for letting us take over for a bit. So, yeah, great show. This is going to be episode number 85.
Yeah.
We're out.
Wow.
Thank you for listening to the Trail Manners podcast. We'd like to thank Brian Tolbert for taking the time to join us today. We also want to encourage everybody to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Trail Manners, or swing by the website at trailmanners.com. Swing by the store page for some swaggin' rights, or hit us up on the contact page. Let us know what you want to see, who you want to hear, or even if you would like to be on the show. Until next time, this is Eric Manning with Joel Hatch reminding you, you don't get what you wish for. You get what you work for. Now go get it.